Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to Missing Vowels. The title itself is appropriately also Missing Vowels, but this is what we're going to be essentially doing with this module, if that hint was not clear. So this is the way the module looks. It looks very similar to the module Only Connect, and that's because this is actually based off of the game Only Connect. This is the third round of it where there is missing vowels in this instance. However, the way that we're going to be doing this is a little bit different. So what we have here is we have on this module a category at the top, in this case that represents duck, duck, goose. We have a cycle button, which is going to be able to cycle this middle display however many times you want to. And we have a series of 5 different hieroglyphics that are from Only Connect. There will be one that is missing, so we have to determine which one is missing. And in this instance, let's take a look. So for this one, we have for hieroglyphics, we have twisted flax, eye of horse, 2 reeds, lion, viper, and water. And then on the module here, we have Eye of Horse, Water, 2 Reeds, Lion, and Twisted Flax. So the one that we're missing is currently the Viper. And we're going to highlight this column because we need to figure out which one is missing. Now, what we're going to do with this module is we're going to be taking a look at what the category is and what the word is trying to give us. So let's take a look and let's see what the Duck Duck Goose manual is telling us, because this is going to help us, and there will be a series of different categories. This manual does say that the module shows the name of a module released before March of 2021. However, recently it's been added a bunch of different categories that can apply here, such as British slang, Monsplode. There can also be periodic table or simply just module names itself. There could also be NATO as well, so that's something that can happen. But in this case, we have Duck Duck Goose, British slang, and Monsplodes present. At least we got 3 different categories. I'm quite pleased with that. So what our goal is here, let's pop up the needies. So we have Duck Duck Goose. What our goal is to try and figure out which duck we're looking at and what vowels are currently missing from this. I don't actually know all of these ones off the top of my head. And essentially what our goal is all of the modules shown will have one vowel in common that is not present in any of their names. We're going to try and determine this vowel and submit the corresponding hieroglyph. And essentially what we're going to be doing here is, as I just mentioned before, there's going to be one hieroglyph that's not present on this module. We're going to be using that as the column in the table, and the intersection of each hieroglyph will be what it represents. So we need to figure out which one we're missing. For example, say if the only one that was missing was an A, we would then press lion in this case. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So now let's take a look and let's see what we have here. And I believe with this first example, I can already tell, is going to be wood duck. And what this means is that the O's are missing, and then the U is missing. And also another thing to note down is that all vowels, punctuation, numbers, and spaces are removed, and any module that contains solely these will never be shown. There is sometimes numbers where you can have like 8, for example, which is just the number 8 itself. That will never appear on this module ever. And then obviously, the remaining letters will now have spaces randomly placed in between them. In this instance, what we would normally have is duck at the end of this. However, there's a space between the C and the K, which doesn't simply make sense. That's because there has been a space that's been randomly placed there. So don't always rely on the spaces when you're trying to figure out, hey, what is the separation of these words? Because there might not be any, or there might be a weird spot for it. So now let's take a look. So with this example, we know that this is wood duck because of the stuff that's missing, in this case being the 2 O's separated by the W and the D. And then we have the DCK, which has been taken away by the U. So in this instance, we have determined that O and U are present on the module. So this means that we will simply be not considering these 2. So we can get rid of these 2 options. Now we need to find the difference between I, A, and E, and we need to figure out which one of these 3 is not present. So now let's hit cycle. So you can cycle this as many times as you so please, and that's the cool thing about this. And this one actually might be able to help me a lot here. This is a very long name. Let's take a look here. And I believe it starts with an S based off of what I'm looking at here. Of course, I could be wrong. Whistling. I think it's whistling. Yeah, spotted whistling duck. So this is what we're looking at right here. And this one actually is going to be a huge clue for us. What we were missing we were missing the I, A, and E. We need to determine between those 3 options. And in this name, we have an E present, in this case spotted, and we have an I present, in this case with whistling. So this means that both I and E are present, which means that our remaining option is the A. And with this being said, this intersection of the column and A, what our option that we're going to select is indeed lion. And just like that is a solved module. So that's all you simply need to do with this module. It is a little bit tricky because of sometimes you might not understand the references that it's referencing to, but this module does require you to have a little bit of a background knowledge. So let's take a look and let's see what we need to do here. So let's see what happens. So now with this one, we're taking a look at British slang. So now this one, let's head on over to the British slang manual. British slang. Come on, load for me, manual, please. Let's go back. There we go. All right. So now, first things first, we need to determine our column. And the one that we're missing, I can already tell, is going to be the lion, because we have water, viper, 2 reeds, I, horse, and flax. Lion is the one that we're missing, so let's figure out what vowel we are missing. So now let's head on over to British slang. So B, L, and K. Now this is going to be referring to the word itself. This is going to be, for example, collywobbles might pop up. We've got round, we've got do. And I believe immediately, taking a look here, this is going to be the word of bloke. So we have BL, and then the O and the E have been removed, and in this case, the K is the only thing that's left. And as you can see, the spaces are all over the place. You cannot tell exactly what word you're looking at just based off of the spaces. And that's exactly what the trick is here. So in this case, this word is bloke. It makes sense because of the fact that we have only 2 vowels missing, and there's 3 characters that are not vowels. So this is going to be what we're looking at. So we can cross off O and E with this. Okay, next. This appears to be a blender. This is actually a really easy one that I know off the top of my head. So blender, where are we? Or blender in this case. I don't know why I thought it was blender. But in this case, blender is going to be the word that we're looking at here. And you can tell that the only ones that are missing are the I and the E. We have B, L, N, D, R. So it's going to be another I that we're adding here. So we get rid of I because we've already gotten rid of E. So now we need to figure out between U and A. So let's hit that cycle. What's this one? Not chinwag, no. It's only with 2 C's. That's a very interesting one. Chuffed. Maybe? No. Chaka. Here we go. Yes. Chaka. This is going to help us here. So the O and the A have been removed, as you can see here. C-H-O, O is missing. C-K, A is missing. So that's going to be the Chaka. And now we're actually missing A. So we actually didn't know that A was going to be present. And in this case, we've determined that U is going to be the one that we're going to be highlighting here. U wants us to select the 2 reeds. So that is a solved module. Let's take a look at one final example here. And in this instance, we're going to be taking a look at Monsfloats. So let's head on over to a Monsfloat fight. Spell right. Here we go, Monsfloat fight. Let's do that. Oh my god, the manual pages are awful for me today. Recording, yes I am. So now... Anyways, let's get right into this. I believe we actually have a winner chicken dinner here. I believe that this first example, we are taking a look at Mountjoy's. Simply because of the fact that there's only M, N, T, and S that are not vowels in this name. There are a lot of vowels in his name, so I believe that this is going to be exactly what we're looking at. And in this case, it appears in that exact order, M, N, T, S. So, with this one, we've already eliminated our 4 vowels that we needed to. We've got O, U, I, and E. So with this example, we already know our missing vowel is going to be an A. I'm going to just search this up here. And I don't know what's going on here. But we already know our missing vowel is A with this one. This one was a very simple one, and you love examples like these. So, the hieroglyphic that we're missing currently on the module is going to be the 2 reeds with this one. And now, the vowel that we're missing ourselves is going to be A. So with this one, it wants us to select the I, of course, so that's what we're going to select. And just like that, it's a solved module. And yes, that is my soundboard colliding with the actual solved sound of the module. So, That's it. That's all you really need to know. Just make sure you have a little bit of more of a background knowledge of how this thing works, or if you need to use the manuals like I did, please be my guest. These modules are really simple concepts. I actually didn't even know any of the duck gooses, so I wouldn't have had any luck with that. But essentially, it's not just limited to modules. It's also available in many different options. Essentially, that's the way that this module works. As always, stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.